Who hasn't ordered a burger or drink and ended up feeling disappointed with what they got? You see the ads and think, wow, that looks amazing. But when the real product arrives, it's pretty different. In commercials, foods look bigger, juicier, the melted cheese dripping just right. But did you know these are just tricks? Yes, tricks used in food ads to make products look mouth-wateringly irresistible. For instance, have you ever thought that that gooey melted cheese might actually be glued in place? Or that perfect creamy scoop of ice cream might actually be mashed potatoes? Today, we're revealing some of the secrets behind food commercials. Tricks that can fool even the most observant viewers. You might even realize you've been tricked before. Imagine this, you've just had lunch, you're full, but you start craving something sweet. Then you flip on the TV or scroll online and see an ad for ice cream that just looks so good. Just looking at it, you can almost taste it. But what if I told you that ice cream isn't even real? And more, it's not even sweet. Would you believe it? Today, you'll find out how these tricks work, and you'll be amazed at the ingenuity behind those perfect-looking burgers and other foods in commercials. Let's start with a classic example. The burger. In ads, they look massive, juicy, with perfectly melted cheese and all the colors popping. Then, when you buy one, it's small, a bit squished, and you think, is this really what I ordered? The truth is, in ad photos and videos, burgers are assembled in ways we'd never expect or want to eat. For example, to build a burger for an ad, the first step is to melt the cheese on just the outside using a controlled flame to make it look like it's dripping. Then they stack extra layers of cheese and meat, and here's the kicker. Toothpicks are used to hold everything in place. This keeps the burger looking perfectly stacked with the lettuce, tomato, and other toppings in view. And the bun. To make it look taller, they stuff paper or other materials inside to create space. Then they coat the whole burger in vegetable oil or even petroleum jelly for that appetizing shine. The result? A visually perfect burger. But in reality, when you buy one, it's a far cry from that ad, right? And there's more. Have you ever seen those scenes where the mayo seems to overflow, looking super creamy? Often, they use a syringe to inject extra mayo or sauces into the sandwiches, but only in the visible part. Sometimes, there's nothing in the middle. Now, let's talk about fruit. Did you know even they get makeup treatment in ads? Just like people, fruits go through a beauty process to look more appealing. One of the most common tricks is applying hairspray to fruits. That's right. The same spray we use to fix our hair is used on fruit to give it that perfect shine and keep it looking fresh longer. Another trick is using spray deodorant, which has the same effect, giving fruits an immaculate, glossy finish. These tricks are mostly used on strawberries, apples, cherries, and other fruits that appear freshly picked in ads. Another secret, when red fruits look a bit dull, they even use lipstick on them. That's right, a layer of red lipstick makes them more vibrant and tempting. Starting to see food ads with fresh eyes? This is just the beginning. There are so many tricks they use to make food look irresistible, and in today's video, we'll be revealing a bunch of them. Keep watching so you don't miss any details. Who doesn't love a cold, fizzy soda? And have you noticed how, in commercials, sodas look extra fizzy and even tastier? It's like the bubbles never stop rising, making you want to take a sip, right? Well, the soda in commercials isn't exactly what you drink. Actually, it is, but there's a little trick behind it. During shoots, they add antacids or effervescent tablets, like those fizzy tablets, to the drink. When mixed with soda, these components create way more bubbles than usual, and these bubbles last much longer. This makes it look like the soda has endless fizz, giving that irresistible feeling of freshness. In regular soda, carbon dioxide bubbles rise quickly, but with the tablets they have plenty of time to capture the perfect shot. The result? A soda that looks much more bubbly and inviting. And of course, this is quite the trick to grab attention. And now, let's talk whipped cream. In many commercials for cakes, pies, and desserts in general, whipped cream is everywhere, right? Cakes with whipped cream, ice cream with whipped cream, coffee with whipped cream. It seems like everything looks better with that fluffy topping. But here's the thing, whipped cream, though light and delicious, melts fast. And that's a serious issue in commercials because the studio lights and heat cause it to melt within minutes. So what's the trick? In most commercials, the whipped cream you see isn't actually whipped cream. To keep it from melting under all that lighting and heat, they use shaving cream instead. Shaving cream has the perfect texture, is white and pretty, and way more resistant than actual whipped cream. Nowadays, many shaving creams are even water-resistant, made to last longer. So when you see a cake or dessert with flawless whipped cream in commercials, it's probably shaving cream. Shaving cream doesn't just stay put, it holds its form for hours, even under hot studio lights. This keeps the dessert looking perfect and tempting throughout the entire shoot. So, next time you see whipped cream on a commercial cake, remember, it's likely just shaving cream in disguise. Speaking of whipped cream, let's spill some secrets about cakes themselves. Yes, even cakes in commercials get the special effects treatment. As you know, most cakes are soft, and if moved around too much, they wobble or even fall apart. Naturally, under studio conditions, it would either collapse or melt pretty quickly. But advertisers have found a clever solution to make cakes look flawless in photos. To keep cakes looking big, sturdy, and free from any droopy filling, they use a simple but effective trick, cardboard layers. It's a layer of cake, then cardboard, then more cake, and so on. They use toothpicks to hold the entire structure together. In the end, the cake looks like a work of art, tall and stable, but is actually filled with cardboard and toothpicks inside. And to finish it off, they spread shaving cream along the sides to cover the cardboard, giving it that smooth, mouth-watering look. So that gorgeous cake you see in commercials, it's not exactly what you're going to get when you buy it. By the time it arrives at your table, it's usually half the size and doesn't have that amazing appearance you saw on screen. But honestly, maybe that's for the best. Who wants to eat cake with cardboard, toothpicks, and shaving cream? Now let's talk about roast chicken. You know that golden, shiny roast chicken you see in commercials? It looks mouth-watering, right? Makes you want to drop everything and go grab one. But unfortunately, that golden, crispy chicken isn't even roasted. In fact, it's often raw. That's right, the advertisers don't even cook the chicken. Instead, they spray it with tanning spray or use a blend of food coloring, molasses, and detergent to give it that golden, crispy look. This painted-on layer makes the chicken look as if it's been roasting for hours with delicious seasoning. But in reality, nobody has cooked anything, and of course, nobody's going to eat a chicken sprayed with tanning spray or covered in detergent. But this is how they make it look flawless for the camera. And still on the topic of chicken, have you noticed in commercials when a chicken comes out of the oven with steam rising, making it look freshly cooked? Well, that steam is another trick. Most of the time, the smoke effect is added in Photoshop if it's a still image. But in videos, they'll use a steamer to create the smoke. The steamer releases a big burst of smoke at first, which then slowly fades, giving the impression that it's coming right off the freshly baked food. Here's an even more curious trick, the smoke effect using a tampon. They take a tampon, wet it with a bit of water, pop it in the microwave, and when they take it out, it's steaming. They place it behind the chicken or whatever food they're showing, and voila! It looks like steam is rising straight from the dish, as if it just came out of the oven. Quite different from what goes on in our kitchens, right? And finally, let's talk about beer commercials. Whenever you see a beer ad, there's always that frosty glass, bubbling drink, and the glass is all dewy, dripping with condensation, right? But the truth is, the glass isn't necessarily ice cold. What they do is spray water or glycerin on the outside of the glass to make it look super cold. And the secret to the foam? Dish soap. They add a little bit of dish soap to the beer or the glass before pouring it in. This makes the foam form more easily and last longer, giving that perfect visual we always see in ads. So, next time you see that seemingly delicious beer, remember, it's probably full of soap and that frosty dripping glass. It might just be water and glycerin. Now, onto pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? In the ads, you see that slice being pulled with endless strands of cheese stretching out. But when the pizza arrives, reality hits. The crust isn't as crispy, the toppings are all over the place, and that amazing-looking cheese is bunched up. Sometimes the crust isn't even properly risen. I bet you've had that experience. Saw an incredible pizza on TV, ordered it, and while it tasted good, it was nothing like that ad image. This happens because the cheese in those commercials isn't just cheese. There's a little trick involved. To get that stretchy, endless pull, guess what they mix into the cheese? White glue. Yep, many advertisers melt the cheese and mix it with glue, creating a rubbery consistency that stretches way more and doesn't break easily. So when they lift the slice, the cheese looks super melty and gooey, making the pizza seem even more irresistible. Now, picture this in the studio. The advertiser's fully focused, then suddenly forgets they added glue to the pizza. Imagine if someone tried to eat that slice with glue on it. Total disaster. But of course, these tricks are just for the shoot. When we order pizza, it thankfully comes glue-free, but without that endless cheese stretch we saw in the ad, leading to a bit of a letdown. That's why sometimes we feel a bit let down by misleading ads. But at the end of the day, what truly matters in food isn't just the look. What counts most is the taste and quality of what we're eating. The appearance is just a marketing play, a way to grab our attention and drive sales, making us crave that pizza at all costs. And it taps into our subconscious, because when we think about food, we picture those beautiful ad images, not what we actually get. And now, the next time you watch a commercial, I bet you'll be looking closely and thinking, look, there's the shaving cream, there's the hot glue mixed into the cheese. And of course, there's probably cardboard in there somewhere. There's no more fooling you. Now you know exactly how it's done.